I was so lost in thought, I barely noticed Fire's approach.
Hey, Sigma. I think I figured something out.
Yeah. Lay it on us. A window popped up on the inside of my helmet, with Whisper in the corner. She seemed to be using a circuit only we could hear. Yeah? What is it?
I figured out why there's an extra E.
An extra E? Oh, you mean the graffiti?
Yeah, the one on floor B. I think it's an anagram, just like on floor A.
What's Anna say this time?
God damn it, Sigma! Knock it off! Memento mori if the ninth lion ate the sun. If you rearrange the letters, you get... The man on the moon rules the infinite time.
Man, you're so good at this. The man on the moon rules the infinite time.
See? You need 6 E's to get that. So they stuck an extra one in ninth.
The man on the moon rules the infinite time.
I think it's a message for us from Zero Senior and a.k.a.
Okay, well... What would that mean?
Remember what she was telling us?
We created the AB project for one purpose. To transport the consciousnesses of 2 people into the past. Those 2 people are you, Sigma, and you, Vi.
So, what are you getting at?
My God, you're slow. You don't get it? They're saying we rule the infinite time. Infinite time. They weren't just talking about having us jump a couple hours. I think they're planning to send us back. Way back.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you think they're going to send us back 45 years?
Yeah. I'd bet on it.
Huh. In which case, I can see the goal pretty clearly at this point. They want to send us back 45 years ago to stop the Radical 6. That has to be it. So the ultimate purpose of the AB project is to send us back in time to that catastrophe Tenmyouji was talking about?
I think so.
That doesn't make sense though. I mean, we came from that same time period, before it actually happened. So why bring us here and then send us back? Probably because at that point it was too late to stop Radical 6 no matter what, so... I guess in a.k.a.'s mind and Zero Senior's mind, this was the one and only solution.
Well, a.k.a. should be able to tell us the rest. Let's go pay her a visit.
Do you know where she is?
I've got an idea. Come on, think. Remember what she said when she gave you the key?
Tu fui ego eris.
The grave? Oh, okay. I forgot about this bad boy, the one in the garden.
Well, come on, what are you waiting for? Let's go.
Alright, we turned and ran back into the pressure exchange chamber, and the others following close behind.
What are you doing? Did you forget something?
We're going to go have a talk with somebody.
Who?
You really need me to spell it out? The person behind all this.
You mean a.k.a.?
What?
I'll take that as a yes. Let me accompany you then.
Wait, why do you know about a.k.a.?
Because he surely knows a lot about this facility and what is going on as well.
I'll tell you when we get there. Now, if you please. I'm coming with you. You folks just said the magic word.
You know, it really must be uncomfortable for K to be wearing that armor and the suit on top of it.
I'm going to
Yeah, you know her real well.
Wait, you're not... You're serious? What the hell is going on?
Ah, shut up! Just shut up! Come if you want to. We don't need to do roll call. Once we get there, Akane can explain everything. With that, we headed back through the airlock. Alright, well, this is the point where we're gonna have to get everyone to speed. And get everyone acquainted with the current situation. Let them know everything that is going on.
Ah, clever. The number 9 door on floor A is shut forever once the game ends. Assuming Zero Jr. was telling the truth, of course. But the door on floor B...
Yeah. Thought we might be able to take the lift to it. And it looks like I was right.
Yeah. How nice.
Any idea where Akane might be?
What a what a lovely loophole there, sort of. Yeah. The grave.
Wait, you mean the grave in the garden?
Yeah. Don't worry. I don't think she's buried there or anything. Chances are she's alive. Just in the grave. Anyway, let's move. To the garden! Alright, back over here.
Is Akane really under here?
I think so.
What should we do? Are we gonna dig her out?
No, I don't think we'll have to do anything like that. What, is a pod gonna rise from the ground once we put the key inside? Let's see. You see the keyhole in the grave? If I just insert this here, I pulled the key off my ankle and fit it into the hole. I twisted it to the right until I heard something unlock. With a quiet grinding, the grave began to shift. Yep, there you go. There's another treatment pod.
What is this? It doesn't look like a coffin.
Yeah. It's a treatment pod.
Oh my god. It is, isn't it?
Huh. Hold on a second. So basically, Akane handed the Sigma the key before the Nonary Game started. But if Akane is inside this, then she would need... Well, she probably has like a spare key or something like that. Cause if the key that Sigma had was the only one, then how come she would be inside this treatment pod in the first place? Because she wouldn't have to use the key to open this treatment pod and all that. Unless it was already open before. It was already inside. It was already here. The glass on the cover had frosted over, making it opaque. We couldn't see who or what was in it.
Let's see what's inside.
She grabbed hold of the lever on the side of the pod.
No good. I think it's locked.
No, CD. You just need to switch it to the other side, not pull it. What?
Treatment pod TP00. Stage 1 defrosting complete. Stage 2 will be complete in 10 minutes. Once stage 2 is complete, the lock will automatically disengage.
Right. Cold sleep.
What?
These pods can put people into cold sleep. It uses something called CAS to freeze human bodies without destroying themselves.
So, Ms. Akane's like an ice cube?
I think so. And there are a bunch of other treatment pods in this facility, which more than likely housed Clover and Alice. That's why they still look so young to this day, even after 45 years.
Then we gotta wait till she melts?
Yeah.
So how about you tell us your story while we wait, Kay?
And for that matter, Sigma as well.
Specifically, why do you know a.k.a?
Alright, well, might as well tell us your story, Kay, once more.
I remembered
What do you remember?
everything. I was born and raised in this facility. It's called Rhizome 9.
I was born in it. Molded by it.
A rhizome is an underground plant stem that spreads by sending out roots. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? This facility is a little like a rhizome. Supposedly, that's why they call these installations that. The number comes from the facility's number. There are 54 rhizomes on the moon, and this is the 9th one.
Rhizome 9, eh? Let me see about something in particular that we found. Don't know where it was, though. There is like one file over here that is missing. Although... Where was it exactly? Researcher's journal. Door puzzle, bookmark. Roadmap? Nope. Actually, I probably could just do this. It would be much faster if we were to do it like this. And there you go. This says Rhizome 9. And this right over here tells us Nevada test site. What in the world does this mean? I still don't know. Maybe this is like some sort of a chart, like timeline jumping or time traveling chart of some sorts. We go back in time to Nevada Desert, then go back to Rhizome 9, then I don't know, honestly. Can't say for sure.
Well, I suppose the other ones don't really matter to you, do they? In any event, I grew up here with a.k.a. and Zero Senior. I watched them create the AB project.
The AB project?
Yes. Its purpose is to send Phi and Sigma, or their consciousnesses at least, to the past.
Back 45 years, right?
Yes.
So, you want us to change history, huh? Go back and keep Radical 6 from getting out, and stop the reactors from exploding. That's our mission?
And let me guess, in order for us to stop the Radical 6, we would have to participate in another Nonary game in the future, eh? Oh boy.
Well, not exactly.
What do you mean?
It's true that the ultimate goal of the project is to keep Radical 6 from spreading to the general population. But even if you do make it back, you won't be able to do much. By now, it's already too late.
Well, yeah, like right now it's too late because the Radical 6 is spread, but once we go back in time, we might be able to stop it.
Too late?
What do you mean?
Let me begin at the beginning. You might be thinking that Zero Senior and a.k.a. were the ones who created all this, but that's not entirely correct.
Eh?
They only followed the histories they'd already seen.
Oh.
It was the only choice they had.
Well, if you put it that way, yeah, I guess.
Nothing less than the future of mankind is at stake.
Unless they decided not to, and thus they would be in a totally different timeline, in which none of this would have happened up until now, except for Radical 6. That still would have happened.
We need the two of you to jump through timelines while maintaining your memories.
So basically trying to maintain this timeline the way it should be, in similar fashion to what happened in 999. Otherwise, all this would have been for nothing.
That is why you had to play the AB game, and why the chromatic doors were necessary. By forcing multiple options, you could make numerous jumps. We speculated that jumping more would strengthen your memories. The puzzles were also there for a purpose. Some theories hold that a moment of insight when you solve a puzzle strengthens your connection to the fourth dimension.
Oh. So I guess that is your excuse, Akane, eh?
That was the reason for the puzzles. Your infection with Radical 6 was also a vital part of our plan. By slowing down your brain's processing speed, we can store your potential. With that energy stored up, we just had to provide a life or death situation to launch your consciousness into the fourth dimension.
Okay, well, you know what? Kay, you're being really nice with this information. With that being said, can you answer us this question? Why did this Nonary game need the rest of the participants that are not Sigma and Phi? Cause Akane is being a pain in the butt with this kind of information. She's just not telling us like everything. She keeps blocking us from learning about everything. So maybe you can answer this. Why did this Nonary game need Alice, Clover, Tenmyouji and Quark, you and Dio? Yeah, why did it need Dio as well?
Like a bullet from a slingshot.
Wait, hold on just a minute here. You keep talking about Sigma and Phi, but what about the rest of us?
Yeah, I am really curious about that.
Why did you bring us here?
That's simple. In earlier histories, you were all here in Rhizome 9. We needed you here to accurately replicate those histories.
Really? That still doesn't explain it though. I mean, whether we are trying to replicate other histories, there still needs to be a motive for why all of us would be here in the first place. And not just the Sigma and Phi. There has to be a reason for that.
Although I suppose that's probably not a good enough explanation for you.
Yeah, basically. Okay.
In a sense, though, it is the truth. Our primary goal was to replicate history. The rest is...
Yeah, but that history has a reason for why it is there. There is a motive for that.
Yes. I suppose I should explain. Very well. I will try and do so in a way you can understand. First, Alice and Clover. They were abducted 45 years and 1 month ago, on December 22nd, 2028. The location is Earth, of course. More specifically, Los Angeles, California. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
After being kidnapped, your bodies were sent to a facility under Akane's direction. You were placed in treatment pods and immediately put into cold sleep.
Yeah. I guess so. Put into cold sleep for 45 years.
4 months later, you arrived at this facility. The date you finally arrived was April 14th, 2029. Your trip from Earth to this facility was aboard a spaceship powered by an annihilation engine. Following your arrival, your pods were placed in long-term storage. Does that make sense?
Are you telling me we were sleeping in those pods here for 45 years?
Yes, in preparation for this day.
But why? What do you need us for?
You are an Esper, aren't you, Clover? I mean that you are able to access the fourth dimension. Am I wrong?
Oh. So let me get this straight. You needed Clover for this Nonary game so that she would be able to strengthen so that she would be able to strengthen the Sigma and Phi's powers? Is that it?
Did Akane tell you?
In a manner of speaking. As I've already explained, the purpose of this project is to send Sigma and Phi's consciousnesses to the past. Espers are able to sort of resonate with one another, which can amplify their power.
Yeah, I guess that's why Clover isn't this. And I guess, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess there aren't that many Espers out there. There aren't that many of them, so I guess Clover is one of a kind.
You understand?
But what about Alice, though?
This is why we brought you here, Clover.
What about me?
We needed your help, Alice, to deactivate Dio's bombs.
Huh? But I didn't do anything.
But you did, in another history. You were able to perform a prime decomposition on the 25-digit integer that Dio left behind. Only you could do that sort of thing. Because of your feat of mathematics, we were about to determine that Dio had planted the bombs. Then we were able to question him and get the password for the number 31. Finally, we used that information to stop the bomb in this timeline. Without your help, Alice, we would have been reduced to nothing more than so much space dust.
So what you're saying is that no matter what, it would be impossible for us to get the password for the number 3 bomb without Alice. There was no other way. Okay.
This history exists because of your presence.
Like, no matter how many timelines there are out there, and they're like infinite timelines, it is impossible without Alice. Okay.
Now, let me explain why we needed Tenmyouji and Quark. Tenmyouji is simple. We needed you for the same reason we needed Clover.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because he is also an Esper. He does have part of that morphogenetic field mojo.
You are able to access the fourth dimension. Almost half a century ago, you used that ability to save a young girl, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
We needed you to resonate with Sigma and Phi, so we brought you here. All it took was a messenger.
Do you want to see a.k.a? If you do, come with me. I was a fool and fell for it.
And you brought Quark with you. In fact, you insisted that he come.
Yeah, I know. I guess you were worried about leaving me alone, huh? He kept saying he couldn't run off to the moon and leave me behind.
I'm sorry, Quark.
Okay, so this is what Tenmyouji wanted, not necessarily what a.k.a. wanted. So we basically jumped into timelines in which Tenmyouji took Quark with him, and Quark was also a participant in the Nonary Game. Would that mean that there was a possibility that Quark wouldn't be a participant in the Nonary Game? Because, I mean, it's not like he has like any morphogenic powers or something like that, so it's all up to Tenmyouji whether we have a timeline in which Quark is a participant or not.
If I hadn't been so stupid and selfish, none of this would have happened to you.
Oh, I guess so. Means to an end, as a.k.a. would say. Quark was infected with Radical 6, and it is through us trying to find Quark and save him from the Radical 6 that Sigma and Phi's powers amplified because of this as well. You know, gaining experience in jumping from timeline to timeline, I guess.
I never thought this would happen. Can you ever forgive me?
Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, I agreed to come with you. I thought the moon would be way more interesting than boring old Earth. What kid would turn that down?
We didn't see the messenger after we got on the ship. It was on autopilot. As soon as we got in, it headed straight for the moon. During the trip, Zero told me to keep quiet once we got there. I don't remember anything after we landed.
Then there was a bunch of that white smoke, and we passed out. And when I woke up, I was in the AB room.
Now, Dio. His real name is Left, and he's the leader of a terrorist organization called the Myrmidons. He was ordered to come here. The Myrmidons are under the control of an organization called Free the Soul, which is in turn controlled by a man known as Brother. It was Brother who orchestrated the release of Radical 6 into the general population 45 years ago.
That bastard.
Do you remember what Phi mentioned earlier? The ultimate purpose of the AB project is to change history and keep Radical 6 from being released.
So I guess when it comes to Dio, I kinda didn't really have much of a say in this. Like, no matter what, Brother or his minions, his religious nutcases like Dio, would have interfered with the AB project anyway, so I kinda had to use Dio to her advantage. so that this would work. So that would mean killing her, but actually having Sigma and Phi save her so that it would work.
If we succeed, that would be bad for Brother and his organization. Our success would prevent them from creating the ideal world they're working toward. That is why Brother sent Left, his trusted lieutenant, to this facility.
Yeah, so basically this brother person is the big cheese that we have to worry about. Sort of. I guess. He is the one responsible for the Radical Six, and therefore forcing a.k.a. and Zero Senior to create this Nonary game to begin with, so that we try to save planet Earth from being infected with Radical Six.
They needed to stop the AB project. So, Dio was given 2 tasks. The first was to eliminate a.k.a., the architect of the AB project. The second was to join the AB game and win it. If Dio won the game, the AB project would not be completed, at least not in that timeline. In other words, in that world, the project would have been stopped. If things didn't go as planned, Dio was given a contingency plan.
The bombs.
If you cannot murder a.k.a. and win the game, destroy Rhizome 9. Hence, the bombs.
Can I ask you something?
Perhaps.
How did Brother know about the AB project?
Yeah, I'm pretty curious. How did he find out? Cause I'm pretty sure that a.k.a. and the Zero Senior were trying their damnedest to keep this a secret.
He was also an Esper.
Oh. How lucky for us.
We can set Brother aside for now, though. May I proceed?
No one objected. We were all curious.
Excellent. That explains everyone, save 2. Luna and myself.
I mean, what about... I mean, yeah, there's Luna and UK, but... What about Sigma and Phi? I'm really curious. Why them? Why are they so special in comparison to everyone else? How are they capable of... Why...
Sigma and Phi already know the truth about Luna. I don't believe I should reveal any more, however. I think it would be more appropriate if you could ask Luna yourselves, at a later time. Would that be alright with you, Luna?
Yes, that's okay.
As for me, as I said before, I was born and raised here. The rest of you were brought to this facility, but I've never left.
In Rhizome 9, born and raised.
That makes me someone close to Zero Senior and a.k.a.
Hey, I've been wondering, who is Zero Senior?
Yeah, I'm pretty curious about that as well. I mean, we talked a bit about him. I was putting all the blame on a.k.a., but there's also Zero Senior. I mean, who is he? Is he Santa? And I don't mean Santa Claus, I mean Santa, you know. a.k.a.'s brother and all that, cause I haven't heard zilch about him.
You've already met him, Sigma. In another timeline.
Yeah, sort of. Well, I saw a hologram. I still don't know who he is.
Stage 2 is complete. TP00 unlocking.
Oh?
It looks like it's finished. Shall we open the pod?
Yeah, let's do it. All of us gathered around the pod, and the glass was still covered with frost, hiding the contents.
Okay, let's get started then. Ready?
Phi laid her hand on the lever and looked around at us. I swallowed. Yeah, anytime.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
It's Sigma. Oh yeah, I forgot about that subplot. That when we saw K's true face, it looked like Sigma. What the fuck is he doing here? Suddenly my head was full of memories from other timelines. I'd seen something like this before. The warehouse of floor B. In front of the white door, K was lying in front of me. I grabbed his mask and saw my own face. I'd never figured out who he really was. Why was there a man with my face underneath K's armor? It didn't make sense. After I'd seen him, I was injected with tuberculosis, and that was the end of that. But wait, if the person in the pod was the same person I'd seen on the floor of the warehouse, who was wearing K's armor? Yeah, that is a good point. It was this person, this Sigma right over here, that was under K's armor. But now that he's in the pod, who is wearing K's armor?
You finally noticed. Didn't I tell you? You won't be alone. I will be at your side, watching over you.
No. Oh my god, you're...
Yes, I am.
a.k.a. Korashiki.
What?
It's you.